What if I told you that the world you see around you isn't actually happening right now? We're about to dive into a pretty mind-bending idea that says your life is just a reflection. And if you understand how it works, well, you might just get the power to change the whole picture. So let's just start with a huge question. Is what you're experiencing at this very moment, your job, your relationships, everything, is it truly happening now? Or is it just an echo, a ghost of who you used to be? And that question leads us to this really radical concept. Your reality works like a delayed reflection. I mean, think about it. What if it's not happening in real time? What if it's more like a movie of your past and it's just playing out for you right now? This idea is called the delayed mirror, and it basically says that your outer world is a physical printout of your past inner world, all your old beliefs, your feelings, those quiet conversations you have in your head. So when you react emotionally to what you see today, you're essentially just hitting repeat and telling reality to play that old scene all over again. So if the outside world is just a reflection, where does the real power lie? Well, no surprise here. According to this philosophy, it's all inside you. Let's break down the principles that really govern this inner creative power. All right, principle 1, and this is a big one. Your attention is your creative currency. Think of it like this. Whatever you pour your focus and your emotional energy into, you're fueling it. You're making it grow. So if you're constantly focused on what's wrong or what you lack, you're basically placing an order for more of the same. The real key is to pull your energy away from the things you don't want. And this idea of attention flows right into our second principle. Your inner world is the real deal. It's primary. Your imagination, your inner speech, those things aren't just daydreams. They're the actual creative forces at play. Your mind isn't just a place for wishful thinking. It's the workshop, the blueprint, where your reality is actually built. Okay. This leads to a really challenging but absolutely crucial practice, radical detachment. Now, this doesn't mean you ignore your problems or you become some kind of robot. It's about looking at your current reality, observing it, without letting it hijack your emotional state. You see it for what it is, an old reflection, but you refuse to give it the power to define who you are now. So this really presents us with two totally different ways to live. On one hand, you've got reactive living. That's when you see the reflection, you get mad or sad, and you just keep that old loop going. But on the other hand, you have intentional alignment. That's where you turn away from the mirror and you focus on changing the source, which is you. You shift inward and you let your new inner state create a brand new reflection. Okay, so this all sounds great, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we consciously change that inner source? Well, it boils down to a pretty practical 5-step process for reprogramming your entire state of being. Let's walk through this. Step 1, quiet your senses. Turn off the noise from the outside world so it has less of a grip on you. Step 2, relax. Get into a calm, kind of sleepy but focused state where your mind is open. Step 3, visualize. Imagine a short, simple scene that implies your goal is already done. And this is key. Don't imagine getting it. Imagine a moment after you've gotten it. Step 4, feel it until it's real. Loop that little scene over and over until it feels emotionally, tangibly real. And finally, step 5, let it go. Release it and trust that the seed is planted. Now, that 5-step process is incredibly powerful. But listen, it is not a one-and-done magic trick. It has to be supported by something you do all day, every day. It requires a daily mental discipline. Throughout your day, you have to become the gatekeeper of your mind. You've got to monitor that inner chatter. And when a negative thought pops up that contradicts your new reality, you don't fight it. You just gently replace it. You consistently, persistently bring your focus back to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You literally start to think, feel, and act from the end result. And you know what this all really boils down to? Your identity. The two most powerful words you will ever speak are I am, because whatever you attach to those words shapes the reflection in your mirror. Are you walking around all day thinking, I am struggling, I am trying? Or are you internally claiming, I am successful, I am healthy, I am secure? So, what do we do with all this information? The most effective way to approach this whole thing is to see it not as some rigid dogma, but as a seriously powerful tool for shifting your perception and ultimately your entire experience of life.
You can really look at this from two angles, and honestly, both are totally valid. There's the literal metaphysical interpretation that reality is a direct reflection of consciousness, and then there's the psychological framework, which sees this as an amazing toolkit for things like cognitive reframing and emotional regulation. But here's the thing, either way you slice it, how you use it is exactly the same.
So the big takeaway, the whole point of this, is to make the shift. To move from a life of just reacting to the reflection in the mirror to a life of intentional inner alignment. Stop trying to fix what you see out there, put all your energy into changing the person who's casting that reflection.
And that leaves us with one final, very potent question. We've established that your attention is your power. It's the fuel of creation. So the only real question left is, where are you going to aim it today?